Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another new video. It's only 3 degrees, hence why I've got my hat on. Today's video I'm going to be fitting one of these. Let's make a start. Yes, the car's nose in on the drive today because I'm going to be fitting this. And for those that don't know, this is a blanking plug that you use to do the Symposer delete. So let's get the bonnet open and I will show you what I'm talking about. Right, bonnet's open, hands are freezing already. Yeah, for those that don't know, the sound Symposer on a Mark II ST is located down in here. It's basically a valve, a diaphragm, and it takes, let me show you, I can't really show you, it's too far in. It basically translates vibrations, sound, and emphasizes them up through this tube that comes up here and situates itself under the scuttle panel. And what it does is it actually feeds in the warble sound of the car. Bit of induction, bit of a turbo noise. Well, not necessarily turbo noise, mine just hears it anyway. But the plan is the bung goes into this diaphragm here, below it I should say, in the hose that is located down behind there. So the headlight will have to come out just to make it easier. I seem to have received a fair amount of stick for my scuttle panel mod. People are saying that it lets fumes in, it lets water in. So far it's done none of those. I actually have ordered some replacement ones because I want to do some experiments, but since having replaced these inner wing panels, yeah, I seem to have resolved a lot of the issues I was getting. I don't really need to get to these at the minute. Ultimately the plan is, if you can see, I kind of get to the camber adjusters, which is fine at the minute. I've not done any track use, but at the moment it means if I want to adjust the front camber, I've got to drop the shocks out, which I just can't do on the drive. Other people can, but this is my daily. So yeah, the idea is I'm talking to somebody about the top strut top tower being changed or having this piece taken out, which will at least give me hopefully some access, but that's for another video. The plan is for this one to obviously disconnect this terrible device here. I'm going to keep a hold of it just in case I want to put a replacement lower scuttle panel in, but then I will just blank the whole off. Yeah, so let's get started by removing the headlight, which I understand is held in by just that. Well, that was both unclips undone. There's obviously the top mount there. The bottom clip there is easy to get to, but there's a secondary clip at the bottom down there that's almost in line with this. Once that's done, the plug on the back there should come unplugged, and then the headlight comes out. That's the self-leveling unit. I will place this down safely on my chair so it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, as I say, that's where the left-hand clip is located, and you've literally got to have like a long screwdriver that you can place down the back of the light to push the tag down. So like I say, it's just to the left of that, in line with that. So if you get a long screwdriver, long bar, come down through there, push the tag, and obviously again there's one that side, but you can actually get your hand to that one. That's the clip, and then it literally just comes out. Car's not looking too bad actually here, but the bit I need to get to is that bit there. But first off, I'm going to take off the top part and see if I can get to it that way. Just thought I'd bring you back because my secondary camera for my B-roll footage died, not because of the battery, just threw up an error. I think it's just too cold. It's repairing the data. Hopefully I've not lost the footage, but what you basically would have seen me do was fight like a bugger with this thing. Look how compressed that pipe is. So if you imagine the Symposer diaphragm and valve unit is located on that bottom pipe there, I actually just used some of these and I placed it that side of the air con pipe, which hopefully, if Ford put yours together right, allowed me to get side access onto that. And then I literally just put the screwdriver down through very gently, if I can get there, down through there to the top of the pipe, and I literally just pushed it a little bit over that ridge and it came off. Not too much trouble, not too long, only made difficult because, as I said, it's 3 degrees and my hands are really cold. I had to twist it a little bit to get it clear of the mounting bracket, but it's now out. All I'm going to do is disconnect that end of the pipe and then fit the bung, as they call it. Debating whether to take that off. I think I will, and put the nuts back in, bolts back in I should say. I mean, I'm not sure if they will use that as a mount to lift it or anything else. I wouldn't have thought so. And all it basically does is sits on the collar of there to hold this in place. So I think I'll go and get a socket, whip that bit out. Just tidies up that little area a little bit, doesn't it? There you go, bolts are removed. Not sure if it looks better with the bolts out or with bolts in, but the ones that you take out obviously are too long to put in, so I may get some shorter ones and plug that. The pipe is detached from the Symposer. This is filthy, but as I say, as far as I'm aware, mine was working. So what I'm going to do now is give that pipe a quick wipe and then get the bung, which is over here. I'll probably use the Jubilee clip just supplied, because once it's on, but I shall more than likely use the original compressor spring clip clamp thing, don't know the technical term for that, to put it back on. Anyway, still mighty cold, but that's roughly taken about 3/4 of an hour to get to that stage, just to give you some idea of how long the work line takes. Some cars are obviously going to be different, but as I say, in a proper environment it will probably be a lot easier. But as I say, it's 2 or 3 degrees still at the minute, despite the sun being out, which is making it increasingly difficult. Roll on the spring, as they say. as I say, next up, I've put the hose clip around, and then I'm going to put this lovely bit of alloy in there, which is rather cold, and then I will just tighten up the hose clip. There we go, just letting the car warm up. It's still 3 degrees out. Bottom part's on in there, you can see. That's right, I wonder what the noise was. Let's set that down, because that may be worth a lot. Yeah, that's in, located okay. I'm just going to let it warm up and then see if it boosts okay, which I'm sure it does because it's running. It's not thrown up a fault code. Let's have a quick look inside. So yeah, that seems alright. I'm not going to rev it too hard, as I say, it's not warm and it's only 3 degrees. So yeah, like I say, I'll let it warm up. I'll put the headlight back in and take it for a spin and see what I think. But already it sounds different inside. It just sounds like a normal car. Ta-da! Headlight is back in. That was fairly simple. Mine have got self-leveling adjusters on them, so clip, push in, and the top bolt lines up, and that's it. Not sure if I would have gone with the red, having looked at it, but you can see where the Symposer has rubbed away on the plastic. I've got the top part of the scuttle panel to remove, or the lower part I should say, which should, on mine, only be held in with 2 spring clips. This one and this one. As I say, I'm going to keep hold of these because, I mean, that does look much better, in my opinion. I know haters are going to hate, but I have ordered a replacement lower panel and upper panel because they're only like 20 quid, and I initially thought perhaps I had made a mistake and it was leaking into the car from that. I've replaced this corner one in the previous video, but I actually think possibly it's the screen wash bowl leaking inside. So the only way to check that is to take the inner wing guard off underneath. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the other day it smelled like screen wash, because I use a particular branded screen wash that's scented, but you know, they are a bugger. Anyway, yeah, the only thing left to do now, quick test of the headlight, make sure how the headlight works. No reason why it shouldn't. I was ultra careful. I put it back in, plugged it in. Again, no fault codes on the car. I've got to pack up, keep hold of that bit. Yeah, but a lot of people don't seem to like this. But yeah, I'm going to give the quick part of the engine top part a wipe, but as I say, that's actually worn away the plastic. But I think engine bay wise, it just looks so much tidier without that Symposer in. I may drive it around and find it really dull, but once I change this intake system and also change the exhaust to something like that, yeah, there won't be any point in having a radio in a car. But yeah, I'm impressed with that. It's taken a bit of time. Putting back together took literally 10-15 minutes. So I'd say give yourself a good hour and a half, just if you're going to fight the clips on the bottom of there. But otherwise, it's a fairly straightforward job. Well, just been out for a nice relaxing drive, nice cruise around. The sounds have changed quite substantially. My boost needle goes to the middle, which I believe is correct, and the car just seems a lot smoother. Now I'm not sure if that's just a placebo effect because you don't get the warbling sound coming into the car, but I can hear my turbo spoil up quite nicely because obviously of my scuttle panel delete. But with interest, as I said in another video, I'm going to put a replacement back in just to see if it does make a difference to the noise. But yeah, the car just feels more responsive, much more responsive. It feels to have a bit more better low down, and the turbo just seems stronger. So I may actually take apart the Symposer just to check it. But the car's always performed good, but it just feels like it pulls stronger. Again, like I say, whether that's psychological, I don't know, but I'm very pleased with my £12 purchase from eBay. Yeah, not sure what's going to happen next to the car. It desperately needs a clean, but until then, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and yeah, click on the like button if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment, and I will catch you in a future video. Thank you. It's a quick thing to say, these are actually 10mm. I know there's a shortage of 10mm sockets in the world, but I've got a good few.